Hey, I'm Nat.
And I'm Samantha.
And welcome to episode 6 of FMC Squared.
All right, guys. So we are going to be reviewing our latest book, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy.
I am going to be reading the inside of it, and bear with me because it's a little lengthy, but I'm gonna hold it down. Jennette McCurdy was 6 years old when she had her first acting audition. Her mother's dream was for her only daughter to become a star, and Jennette would do anything to make her mother happy. So she went along with what mom called calorie restriction, eating little and weighing herself 5 times a day. She endured extensive at-home makeovers while mom chided, "Your eyelashes are invisible, okay? You think Dakota Fanning doesn't tint hers?" She was even showered by mom until age 16 and was also forced to share her diaries, email, and her entire income. And I'm Glad My Mom Died, Jennette recounts all of this in unflinching detail, just as she chronicles what happens when the dream finally comes true. Cast in a new Nickelodeon series called iCarly, she is thrust into fame. Though mom is ecstatic, emailing fan club moderators and getting on a first-name basis with the paparazzi, hi gal, Jennette is riddled with anxiety, shame, and self-loathing, which manifests into eating disorders, addiction, and a series of unhealthy relationships. These issues only get worse when, soon after taking the lead in the iCarly spinoff, Sam and Cat, alongside Ariana Grande, her mother dies of cancer. Finally, after discovering therapy and quitting acting, Jennette embarks on recovery and decides for the first time in her life what she really wants. Told with refreshing candor and dark humor, I'm Glad My Mom Died is an inspiring story of resilience, independence, and the joy of shampooing your own hair.
Wow, this book was so good.
Define good, Samantha.
Good as in I was sucked in from the second I started. But there is a lot of triggers in here, for sure. A lot of triggers. We were just talking about that earlier. We were just
talking about all the triggers, so we do want to just go ahead. I'm going to just go ahead and start listing a few. Definitely any type of weight issues, so like anorexic, bulimia, any eating disorders, child molestation, narcissistic mom. Jeez.
So many.
Foot fetish, I don't know.
So many. So definitely proceed with caution.
Alcohol addiction.
But wow, to like get the glimpse into the look of, a childhood star's life.
Yeah. I don't even know for sure, like after I read the book, if I even wanted to know all of that.
No, I know, dude. I know.
I wish I could erase some of it out of my memory, like knowing that we were just casually, and of course this iCarly is definitely, I feel like, more so my time frame.
Yeah.
But just to know that we were like casually watching her like beat people with a fucking butter sock and
meanwhile not eating anything.
What the fuck?
So for me, I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really, really liked it. I did take off a half star low key just because it did have so many triggers in it, and there was so many times I was like, oof, I need a little break.
I personally will give it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I think Jennette's writing style was also really nice. It was very simple.
It's very casual.
Yeah,
very like
casual.
Friend-like.
Yeah, it felt like you were kind of like talking to a friend, but like about their deepest, darkest secrets.
Absolutely. It felt like you were. And okay, I also want to say I did do the audiobook on this, and I absolutely recommend it if you are someone that is okay with doing audiobooks, because Jennette herself narrates it, and it is really cool because it does feel like you're honestly like getting a glimpse into her diary, innermost thoughts kind of thing.
I can see
so
that.
It was very cool to like hear her voice delivering it in the way that she intended to, which was nice.
That is cool. Before we jump into this book, we do want to give everyone an opportunity to go ahead and read it. It does say over 3 million copies have sold. I think people are obsessed with this book. It is good. I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I didn't agree that it was good.
They are going to be coming out with a TV show.
They are going to be coming out with a TV show now. I think it is going to be a while before they actually release it. And last I checked, it was going to be released on Apple TV, which I don't know about y'all, but That's too fucking rich for me.
Now I have to sign up for a free subscription and binge it all in like a week.
Exactly.
Which I'll do.
Yeah, I will. I'm not against
but...
any of that. Yeah. I'm not against any of that. But we just want to give you guys a chance to go ahead and kind of step away from the podcast in case you want to go and read this book before we jump into the details, because we will be jumping into the details.
We're gonna get into it. There's a lot.
Again, this is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy.
All right, so enjoy your reading and we will see you back for the deets.
Yes. And we are coming back to kind of go over briefly. I'm gonna have Samantha take this away because she was the note taker with all of this. Yeah,
I had to get into it, you guys, because I'm gonna fully confess to you guys, I had read this book when it very first came out.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back because Nat had brought it up, and I immediately was like, yes, I want to read it a second time because I know that I flew through that book and there was so much to unpack.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I had to take these notes so that later on, after I inevitably flew through it a second time, I could go back and be like,
reference
whoa.
stuff.
Because some of this you just have to sit with for a second.
Oh, definitely.
It's just... wow.
It's a lot to unpack. Even my dog thought that it was a lot to unpack. He fucking ate it. Literally, my first book that I have, my dog slipped the fucking cover off and took the entire, and this is a hardcover book, literally nibbled the fucking book away.
Maybe he could feel the essence of Jeanette's mom coming.
Yeah,
through the
maybe
book
he just was like, nope, negative energy. We don't want this type of energy in the house. And you know, ironically enough, my sister said something about it. She was like, maybe you shouldn't read that book. And I was like, maybe I should.
Yeah, you're like, I need to know.
Yeah, and she's like, well, maybe like, well, you don't want to think that way about mom. And I'm like, maybe I just should read a book about
someone else who's going through crazy stuff with their family.
And if I resonate, then I resonate.
Yes. Okay, so let's just start at the prologue in the beginning, essentially. It does immediately start with her mom basically being almost dying from cancer. And it just starts off basically saying that, you know, her life from that point, like, revolved around the fragility of her mom's life.
Yeah.
And then it, you know, throughout this book, a lot of the theme is like this crazy codependency with her and her mom, and obviously her mom being super controlling and narcissistic. So yeah, chapter 1, I mean, basically starts off her being a little kid and just denying all of her instincts as far as who she is, stuff she's interested in. If her mom wanted her to like pink, she was gonna like pink. If her mom wanted her, instead of ripping open her birthday present and being a fun little kid, if her mom wanted her to carefully unpack it so she could trim it and keep bits of it because she had hoarder tendencies, you know, that's what she was going to do. She was going to mold herself to do every action and movement to make her mom happy. Yeah. Because of the fact that her mom had almost died and had cancer. It was like everything
like it was her fucking responsibility. Yes, first of all. And just to go ahead and dive into it, because I do feel like there's so many details of this book that if we actually sat down and went over the bits and pieces of everything, this would just be a long ass fucking podcast episode.
It would.
But to jump right in, her mom literally makes the kids sit and watch her video of her dying from cancer every year. Every week. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Every week. Let me shut the fuck up.
Yes, the details, girl.
Yeah, every week. And she highlights how everyone reacts and feels in the video at that time. Like, oh, your brother was just so sad. He cried the whole time. And then, Jennette, you wouldn't stop singing Jingle Bells. You had no remorse. Like, no, you were not reading the room. Bitch, Jennette is too.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to guilt her for something she did when she couldn't even conceptualize who.
Like, she didn't give a fuck that she was dying. She didn't even know, and not even who she was. Like, she's two. She doesn't understand the concept of death.
Yes.
Like, she doesn't think anything is necessarily that wrong. She doesn't even have the ability to obtain that type of. Kids at that age are very pure. There's not much that you can do as far as sadness-wise for them. How's she gonna read the room?
So then her mom basically survives this cancer, and then she goes around, you know, anytime she wants something, basically she manipulates the situation and by being like, oh, I almost had cancer, I died.
I almost died. Like, I was on my deathbed. You don't understand. I can't sit down for long periods of times. I need to be towards
And Jennette talks about, like, how so embarrassing it is.
Yeah.
She's like, this is just ridiculous. But her mom wanted to be a child star.
Yeah.
So because her mom wanted to be a child star, she basically was like, Jennette, you're going to be a child star.
Mm-hmm. Jennette did not like acting.
No.
She always had said that. She ended up starting to get roles. The way she gets the roles is from her being the crier on cue.
Yes.
She can cry on cue, and she literally describes in these books that she can cry on cue because she basically has all this like sadness and remorse built up in her.
Yeah, she can reference back to this trauma of like, what if my mom did die?
Yes.
What if so-and-so did happen?
Yes, and that's what she uses to like cry on cue, and people hold on to that. It's just sick.
And then after a while, it's like she says, you know, she ran out of tears because she started to go emotionally numb.
Yeah.
And then it was like she felt like she had no worth because that was her one thing that was
that
like
she
the
could
big
do.
thing
And her
that would
mom
get her
also
jobs.
agreed at that time because
Yes.
remember she lost that booking because she couldn't cry.
Yes. And her family was Mormons, but her mom also at the same time was like, we're going to do stuff to like enhance your lashes, your hair, your whatever, your teeth. We're going to do all this stuff that's uncomfortable for you, that's like burning your hair, you know, whatever.
And she was so young. Like, we're not talking about someone that's 17, 18 years old that kind of has a say-so and what's going on. Like, she's like 11, 12 maybe. She's pretty young.
Yeah, she was very young, I think, when she
She's
started
like
all
bleaching
this.
her hair and stuff like that. And it's just like...
Talking about how her gums were sensitive from like the Crest white strips and
her
stuff
teeth
like that.
start falling out.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, anyways.
Yes, so then, you know, she essentially does get booked for a bunch of stuff, and her mom's pushing her to do more and more, even though Jennette's like, I really don't like this. And then her mom starts to overextend her, being like, you need to also do dancing and do this and that, and signing up for like all
Pogo
these
fucking
classes,
sticking
like
class.
crazy stuff that like she just doesn't want to do, and she's exhausted and having to do schoolwork and that and her jobs that she's booking, and she's basically just supporting her family financially for the most part. Her dad works, but it seems like the jobs he's described doing don't sound like they're like super lucrative.
Right.
And it seems like their family, from what it said, was like from kind of a poor area.
Yeah.
They don't have much.
They sleep on mats in their house.
Yes, within
they
this
have
like
beds,
hoarder atmosphere.
But they have a bunch of stuff all over the beds.
God, I just couldn't. Ugh.
Yeah.
It talks about how Jennette was like wanting to have friends over and just was like, I can't invite anyone over because this is like embarrassing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's just so heartbreaking. That's just so sad. Like, to think of a kid being like, that would make me feel claustrophobic, I feel like, to live in an atmosphere like that.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
No. And then, you know, as she gets older, you know, it keeps going back to the fact that, like, her mom, like it said, you know, Nat read it in the beginning, it said, even in the intro, her mom used to literally shower her, like, she showered her. That's it.
Yeah,
like, she didn't
that's
shower
it.
herself.
She showered her.
And sometimes she showered her with her brother that was even, like, a year, I think, older than her.
older than her.
Yes, and her mom would always have, like, reasons, like, well, I gotta make sure you don't have lumps or cancer, or I gotta make sure
giving
that
her
your
actual,
hair is,
like
a
breast
weird
exam
texture.
and,
Yes,
and vaginal exams.
Which is just, again, and apparently, because it says front butt in there specifically, and I want to refer back to that because it just shows how naive and young Jennette was when this started, that like that's probably what her mom called it to her,
so that it didn't seem perverted.
Inappropriate.
Yeah,
like, and apparently she did it for her brothers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she definitely had two brothers, maybe three.
She had two brothers for sure.
And it even talks about how, you know, at certain points her mom would talk really badly about her, you know, brothers, being like, well, they're bad kids and you shouldn't be like them. And, you know, it sounds like the mom latched onto Jennette
because Jennette was weak.
Yeah, and was like, I can mold you, I can make you be what I want to be. She was easier to
manipulate.
Yeah, I think honestly she wanted her daughter to get famous so she could try to gain the fame that she never got, like from being like the mom of a famous
as like
person.
A stepping stool.
Exactly, because she ultimately didn't really care what her daughter wanted, because Jennette would say, I don't want to do this, and her mom would cry and be like, what do you hate me? You know, whatever, like blah blah. Like, triggering.
It is very triggering. So, kind of fast forwarding, I think the next big thing that goes on is that she goes onto the iCarly show. She ends up getting close with Miranda, and the creator, which is what is his name?
Oh, Dan Snyder. It never officially says, but for those of us that have seen like any of the Nickelodeon
documentary and stuff like that, yeah, we're definitely making the assumption that it was him
for sure.
But don't quote us on that because we don't really know shit. But I mean,
we don't
one
know.
plus one is equal to. We know. But they said that he was like encouraging her to drink alcohol and
was saying like, oh, the other kid groups from these TV shows are doing
it all the time.
You should do it. Like, loosen up. Like, oh, gross. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies because like old dudes like that are like disgusting.
And they still walk the earth.
No, like they're everywhere.
Yeah,
rampant. Just like
he
at your everyday grocery store.
Oh, these.
Food line, you never know. Gas stations everywhere. Yeah, they're never safe.
I'm like, I can't. But she starts doing the iCarly show. She ends up enjoying the cast members, I think, for the most part.
She does. I think that her relationship with Miranda seems like the one good thing that she kind of holds on to from when they start that show all the way through. Like, she always has positive things to say about her. It seems like that really probably kept her sane
throughout that process. And I do love the fact that even throughout all of this and iCarly discontinued, that they were still relatively close, and she was still there for her for the most part throughout the book. I almost kept forgetting that it was like Miranda, like Carly.
I know, right?
Because
isn't that crazy?
I just kept you completely disassociate because she tried so hard to not be Sam from iCarly. You completely throughout the book like start disassociating Sam from Jennette.
Exactly.
And what's you crazy, read it as like Jennette's story.
We were talking about how, you know, in iCarly, like her signature thing was like she loved eating. She was a bottomless pit. Yeah. She would like have the butter socks she would hit people with, and yet she was not
going
eating
through all of that.
She
wasn't even actually eating.
No.
I think that's crazy to think about because everyone knows that Sam on the show was greedy as fuck.
Yes.
She would eat anything. And now I just wonder, like, was she going in the bathrooms and, like, throwing up all her fucking food?
Well, no, at the time, I'm assuming that's probably mostly what she ate for the whole whatever she ate was what she ate. Because at the time, I think when she was younger, she was anorexic, but I don't think her bulimia started until, well, much later.
That is very true.
And, you know, it talks about with her bulimia how, like Nat said, like her teeth were like starting to like
because the vomit is it's acid reflux, so it's not good for it to come back and hit your teeth.
Yes.
And she eventually started losing teeth. The saddening thing about this is like and it's not really saddening, I think it's more so empowering. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, is that she wanted so much more for herself. Every time, though, and she knew that she wanted more for herself, but there was just a lot of times where she just couldn't do it. Yes. But she never lost that thought. I feel like she always knew.
Coped with her emotions, I feel like, and I think only through her therapy and all this and, like, healing a lot of this stuff about her was she able to, like, stop relying on that to, like, she was using throwing up as, like, getting rid of these negative toxic emotions
when she really needed to find another way to
totally like confronting them and like addressing them. And you know, one thing that I totally related to was I went through periods of time where to be honest, a lot of times when I thought anorexia, I thought someone ate nothing, right? Like that was my understanding. But then I was informed later on that it was like, well, if you're eating like less than, you know,
the
500 600 calories a day, like that is anorexia, because that's not even enough calories to keep your body going. So just speaking from someone where like I did that to myself, not realizing at the time, because I was like, I'm not like anorexic, I'm like eating like what,
like I'm eating something.
But I was eating stuff that was like a bunch of pickles, like cucumbers, like stuff that like meant, you know, it was like air.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? So after like so long of doing that, and then just like Jennette, you get to the point where you can't do it anymore. Your body's been in starvation too long. And then I did go more to like binge eating, which is just what happened to Jennette in the book. She started like just like got away from her mom. She went on tour because she started doing country music stuff. And then she just started going crazy. Like she came back and like gained a bunch of weight, and her mom basically was so disgusted in her her and was like, okay, we're going back on calorie restriction and stuff. But she just
while
felt like
her
she
mom
couldn't
was
do
in
it.
the fucking hospital bed dying, she's talking shit about how she's overweight. Bitch, you can't even gain weight. You in the hospital bed with cancer.
And Jennette's like, oh, I'm glad she said that because it lets me know she's like healthy enough to at least think about that. Like that's her norm. Like that's like I can't, like it's just crazy. So yeah, this book was, and then, another thing that was really wild was when Jennette finally starts dating. Obviously her family doesn't want her to.
Oh my God.
They're, they are like Mormon and everything, even though they
Wait, before she starts dating, can we talk about how when Jennette got her apartment, her mom stayed in her apartment for 3 months?
She like sabotaged her. And then like I think it was her grandpa maybe came over.
Yeah,
or
and
whatever,
finally was like,
oh, can I just stay for one night? And then just never left.
Yeah.
Almost like, a scrub boyfriend would do or something like
that.
No,
definitely. Like... her mom definitely stayed there. So then her mom ends up finally going back after staying in her Jennette's apartment for God knows how long. And Jennette starts dating. And make a long story short, the pictures get out of Jennette, paparazzi, and her mom sees. We should pause. I should go and try to find some of these emails in this book so I can read it to you guys. 1 second.
Yes, okay. You look for that and I'll explain what. So she's supposed to go to Hawaii as like this. Thanks for completing the show. The show's canceled. I believe that's what it was. You guys get, this money and a trip for you and one other person. So she told her mom, I'm gonna go with one of my friends. I think it was like a gay friend or something she had. And the whole time they were there, they were doing like this fake 3-way calls, her and this gay friend that she had that was covering for her and her mom. And so it was like, oh, we're here together, whatever. But then paparazzi gets photos of Jennette with her then boyfriend at the time that her mom didn't want her to be with. And her mom saw these photos and knew Jennette was lying. So Jennette basically wakes up to about 40 different emails and voicemails and all this kind of stuff, and the vitriol that her mom is spitting at her is insane, and the crazy back and forths between hating you and needing stuff is wild. So let's get Nat to just like give you a taste again, because this is wild.
Yeah, this is wild. So this is the email. Dear Nat, I am so disappointed in you. You used to be my perfect little angel, but now you are nothing more than a little slut. A floozy, all used up. And to think you wasted it on that hideous ogre of a man. I saw the pictures on a website called TMZ. I saw you in Hawaii with him. I saw you rubbing his disgusting hairy stomach. I knew you were lying about Colton. Add that to the list of things you are. Liar, conniving, evil. You look pudgier too. It's clear you're eating your guilt. Thinking of you with this ding dong inside of you.
By the way, I'm sorry. Let's pause right there. I'm disgusted by the word ding dong, and it's not even that it's a bad word. It's just like,
why can't you say like? And why are you worried about what's in my vagina? First of all,
because she was like
That's disgusting. Okay, we're not even done.
Carry on.
The thinking of you with his ding dong inside of you makes me sick. Sick. I raised you better than this. What happened to my good little girl? Where did she go? And who is this monster that has replaced her? You're an ugly monster now. I told your brothers about you, and they all said they disown you just like I do. We want nothing to do with you. Love, Mom. Or should I say Deb, since I am no longer your mother. P.S. Send money for a new fridge.
Like, fuck off, Deb. Like, fuck off. Like,
Deb,
I can't. Like,
Deb.
That was some wild shit. And she got so many more messages like that her boyfriend literally took her phone away.
Yeah.
And was like, don't look at this anymore.
No, definitely. I was trying to try to find another one for you guys, but just know that they're vulgar.
It is like and her mom was like, by the way, I'm gonna go on all these websites and make your fans fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And
she was like, she was gonna participate.
And she did it too.
She did.
Like, that's wild. Her mom pushed her into being famous and then went and was like, if you're not gonna act the way I want you to act, I'm gonna make all these people hate you. So like, they just know you're a bad person.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It's wild. Like,
so, and then that's the ironic
I'm sure she
thing.
is
like,
glad her mom died.
I mean, I was glad the bitch died. Shit.
Me too.
Shit.
God
and it
damn.
ain't even my mom.
That was wild. It was wild.
So even after, and let's fast forward because the book still keeps going even after this.
Yeah.
So let's just jump into her mom finally passes. And
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
God bless. I mean, I know I shouldn't.
We all sighed of relief though when it finally happened.
We did. I was like, thank God. But then I looked at the book and I was like, shit, I got mad chapters left. Like, what the fuck? What's about to go on? So Jennette ends up meeting a nice guy. She ends up doing a stupid runoff show on Netflix that she even was embarrassed to even do the show. And she ends up meeting this guy. They end up dating and it's going good for the most part. And then he tells her that he knows that she's bulimic because she's bulimic at this moment.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't feel comfortable pursuing the relationship until she goes to therapy. So she starts going to therapy. Things are looking good. And her therapist, I think her name starts with an L. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Lauren,
But
we
Jennette
don't know.
can't catch a break.
Not dead ass. She ends up going to her therapist and they realize that she binges more often when she's at these like red carpet shows and stuff like that. So her therapist says, I'm going to start coming with you during these shows. That shit didn't matter. Jennette still ate mad shit at the table.
Slider after slider.
Which,
I mean, listen, I love a slider.
I would bust a slider down. But she ends up feeling like complete shit about it. Ends up leaving the red carpet event. And the therapist tells her, like, this is what healing looks like.
But she switched to a different therapist.
She ended up going to a life coach, and he was more like a dietitian as opposed to like an actual therapist.
Yes.
Oh, the therapist tried to tell her that her mom was a piece of shit.
Right. Okay. So some hard truth.
It was some hard
and it
truth,
didn't sit right.
And she was not fucking with it.
Yeah.
She was basically like, "You're not gonna tell me that the person that I built my entire identity on took advantage of me all these years."
Yes, everything I am is built around who my mom wants me and needs me to be.
And you're telling me that my mom was manipulating me.
Yes.
That is a hard truth. That probably would hurt. And
I'm sure, like, it does seem like after her mom died, like, she probably does have to literally learn who she is.
Yeah.
Because she's not had the opportunity.
Exactly.
Really.
And I don't think that was something that she was looking forward to doing, quite frankly.
I mean, shit, me neither.
And then in addition to that, she found out her boyfriend is schizophrenic. This man thinks
he thought it was Jesus.
He thought he was Jesus.
Yeah, oh my God.
Luckily, he knew he was tripping, and
Eventually.
they ended up sending him off to the war. But he ended up being addicted to drugs anyway. She ended up having to leave him, which I love that for her.
Yeah, I'm glad that she did. Yeah, because
I love that scene because they both
to go into
knew.
another toxic relationship would have been like a sad end to that.
That's what I'm saying. You're going backwards, Jennette, and she knew it too. She knew that she wanted better for herself, and that if she kept going this direction,
she was a healed woman after therapy.
Exactly,
and she was like, no.
Exactly. So, I thought that was important, and that was a really big piece for her too. I think it showed in her selling the house too. But then this is where her bitch ass.
Oh my God, yeah, she bought that house.
Grandma comes in.
She spent so much money. This house for years just needed fixing, but she kept it because everyone was like, it's an investment. And they were like,
you should get a house at this age.
Like, get rid of it. Like,
yeah, they were like, it's dumb. Like, you can't even maintain it. It's stupid. And she goes to tell her grandma that she's selling the house. Her grandma turns into this evil... Sounds like her mother.
Oh my God, cut from the same cloth.
Cloth.
Yeah, her grandma literally was calling her a bitch and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, if you're gonna be this way, I'm gonna block you.
Talk. Yeah, we're not gonna talk. And the grandma didn't give no fucks. Honestly, I respect a bitch that's that disrespectful because you don't give a fuck.
Dude, when old people hit that age and they're just like, I don't give a shit.
Exactly, and it's not dementia, bitch. You just acting like that.
You ran out of fucks.
Yeah, you literally ran out of fucks.
Yeah, that's when you run out and then you just crazy and you say whatever you want and people just have to be like,
yes. And then poor Jennette, she can't catch a break because even after she cuts off grandma's ass, she finds out that her dad is not even her real dad.
Oh my God, that was
Take it away,
wild.
Samantha. Take it away.
Oh Oh my God. Okay, so then her dad starts dating someone not too long after her mom dies. And she's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. But then it turns out that he's like, by the way, you guys aren't my kids.
None of you. None of the kids.
You. I know who your dad is. Your mom never told you. Jennette's like, she could have told me when she was on her deathbed.
Yeah,
and she
she took that shit
to the grave.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Because you know what? It does make me feel better because her dad wrote her name wrong on her birthday card, and that tracks more because he really didn't know who the fuck she was. You know what I mean? So that does track more.
That is not his fucking kids. That no. Like, I don't know what that baby name is.
That ain't my baby.
Who goddamn white baby is this?
Get on Maury. I'm dead. That was a wild twist.
Yeah, that was a wild twist. And then her and Miranda going to confront her real dad. I low-key love that we kind of got that, like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a happy ending, but it was just some type of answer from Jennette. It was some type of answer for Jennette for her to actually be able to meet her real father and him actually being open to even having a relationship with him.
And I love the girlhood of like Miranda and her doing it together.
Yes, and her gay friend.
Yes, the one that was supposed to go to Hawaii with her and like didn't.
But overall, honestly, again, like I said, if we were to unpack this entire book, we would be here for the rest of the night.
So many details, but it was a good book.
Yeah, and like we said, trigger warnings. If you feel like any of that stuff we discussed in the beginning is something that may like personally trigger you, either be strong or put the book down because it will do some things for you. Even for someone that may have not been personally triggered by those things, it was still gut-wrenching for me. That's literally on the book, I think, gut-wrenching.
Yeah, you just feel so bad that like someone would be subjected to this force of like almost like mind control from such a young age. To feel like their every move would make the difference in the life or death of their parent.
That's absolutely diabolical.
That's wild.
So this was going to be my question.
Yes,
because obviously in this book, I told Samantha I was going to save her a question until the end.
Yes.
And so in
I'm
this
scared
book,
but excited.
Yeah, she decided that she wanted to get more into writing. My question to you is, do you think that Jennette is going to be able to sell another best-selling book like this? Or do you feel like she kind of prospered off of the child prodigy thing for her writing?
So, in my opinion...
I did do research on this. She does want to do fiction, by the way.
Perfect. Okay, so here's my answer.
Okay.
So when she was younger, we had talked about how she was really able to tap into her crying because of the traumas in her life.
Yeah.
For that same reason, I think she is going to be epic at doing fiction because I think she's lived such a difficult and complex life. There's been so many different layers with her finding out her dad's not really her real dad and all the stuff that... You know, almost in itself, it obviously is a story because it's sold as a bestseller, right? But I feel like with that kind of like pain, there comes a different like almost area you can tap into that maybe people that haven't experienced that might not be able to. So I think if she decides to, I think she could especially get into stuff that has maybe not necessarily only darker tones to it, but like taps into those really complex characters that you could fall in love with.
That makes sense.
I think she could be good at it, and also she is very funny.
Yeah,
like
that
her,
is true.
Not just
her writing style is very like comical.
Yes, and listening to her deliver it, like her delivery is funny. She gets it. So I feel like that would translate in there as well. So I feel like you'd get a really complex storyline from her because she is so complex.
I think it's cool to think about that. My only concern is just whether the world is so critical, and I feel like they may like fetishize over this book and not even give her an opportunity to release another book.
I know, but like low-key, what if she came out with like a pseudonym? What if like she released her book, but like we had no idea who released it, and then we became so obsessed with her, and she was like,
"That would be fire! It's me, bitch."
Yeah, Jennette.
I love Jennette.
Yeah. That's my girl, Jennette.
So, overall, like we said, me and Samantha thought very highly of this book. We are going to look into what our next read is gonna be.
So if you guys want to read along with us, you can either listen and hear what we're going to be reading next and kind of read it before our next episode drops, or you guys can just stop it here and then wait till the next episode and
pick
pause
up. Pick back up where we left off. And
so,
like we said, this podcast is good for people that want to act like they're reading. So if you're just here to listen, we're cool with that too. But anyways, we're gonna be back soon.
Next book's gonna be
And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And Samantha's gonna read the description for this book so you guys can get a feel of what we're gonna be looking forward to.
All right, so an exclusive authorized edition of the most famous and beloved stories from the Queen of Mystery. 10 people, each with something to hide, something to fear, are invited to an isolated mansion on Indian Island by a host who, surprisingly, fails to appear. On an island, they are cut off from everything but each other and the inescapable shadows of their own past lives. One by one, the guests share the darkest secrets of their wicked past, and one by one, they die. Which survive among them is the killer, and will any of them survive? This one looks so good to me. I hope excited. It is good. It was rated highly, so
yeah, it's rated like a 4.14 on Goodreads, and Amazon's fucking with it too. So
and, Goodreads is a tough crowd. It's like Rotten Tomatoes. They don't want to let shit slide.
I swear, I will have my favorite book on there, and Goodreads will be like, it's a 1.5.
And everyone's like, who is this? A 3-year-old wrote it, and I'm like, it's my favorite.
Made me feel incompetent.
Yes.
But anyways, we're looking forward to you guys either reading along with us or coming back and getting some details on the book to figure out.
Because we got the spoilers.
We do have the spoilers. And from there, you can determine if you want to read it or not. But again, this is episode 6 of FNC Squared.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.